my great community of language educators, curious learners, and pedagogical trailblazers. Welcome to episode 127 of the Languages Pedagogy Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and today we're diving into a topic that is often misunderstood, under-discussed, and yet profoundly significant in the world of language education. Heritage speakers. Their challenges, their opportunities, and why understanding them is essential if we want inclusive, effective, and culturally sustaining language instruction. So, just do it like me now. Grab your coffee. It's really good coffee now. A coffee from Ethiopia that I had the chance to go over there for a couple of days. I brought my coffee, and I'm sitting down here just talking to you guys. Take your notepad or just your earbuds and let's unravel this fascinating intersection between identity, memory, community, and language learning. Let's get started. Woo!
Let's go!
Alright, let's begin with clarity here. A heritage speaker is someone who was raised in a home where a non-majority language was spoken, often by parents or grandparents, and who has some proficiency in that language but may not have received formal education in it. Let me paint you a picture here. Imagine Maria, born in New Jersey, to Colombian parents. Spanish is spoken at home. Abuelita sings lullabies in Spanish. Mama prepares arroz con pollo while chattering away in Espanol. But Maria attends school in English. She learns to write essays in English, watch cartoons in English, and text her friends in English. By the time she reaches high school, she's fluent in conversational Spanish, but unsure of verb conjugation, gender agreements, or when to use por versus para, right? Sound familiar? Now, multiply Maria by millions. Heritage speakers are everywhere. In America, in Europe, in Asia. The children of immigrants, exiles, diaspora communities, and cross-cultural marriages. And they are linguistic gold. But also pedagogical challenges. The silent assumption. They already know, right? One of the most common misconceptions about heritage speakers is this. They already know the language, right? Wrong. Well, let's say half wrong. And yes, they may speak and understand the language at home, but often with fossilized grammar, limited vocabulary, regional dialects, or no literacy skills. A heritage speaker of Arabic may speak the Moroccan dialect fluently, but have no exposure to modern standard Arabic. A heritage Chinese speaker may speak fluent Cantonese at home, but struggle to read characters. The assumption that they're fluent leads many schools to misplace them into classes for native speakers, right? Or worse, discourage them from taking a language at all. And that's where the disconnect begins. Let's start with the challenges here. Let's start with the first one. Literacy gaps. Unlike second language learners who often build their skills in a structured, linear fashion, alphabet, phonics, sentence structure, paragraph development, heritage speakers tend to learn language organically, through context, emotion, interaction. That means they might have an extensive oral vocabulary but lack reading and writing proficiency, right? In class, they might ace a listening exercise but struggle to write a simple email in their heritage language. And yet, if we place them in a beginner class, they may feel bored or even insulted, right? I've had this student. So the real challenge becomes how do we meet them where they are? Challenge number 2, identity tension. Language is never just language, right? We all agree on that one. It's identity, culture, history, belonging. For many heritage speakers, their language is tightly interwoven with emotional and cultural memory. It's the language of bedtime stories, of parental scolding, of community celebration. It's also sometimes the language of trauma, migration, and marginalization. When teachers correct a heritage speaker's grammar, for example, here we go. Let me get a sip of my coffee. They may be unintentionally challenging a piece of that student's self. This emotional vulnerability is real and must be handled with empathy, For sure, you as teachers know about this. In any language, of course. And on top of that, many heritage speakers feel like they live between worlds, not fully fluent in their heritage language, not entirely comfortable in their majority language, constantly being told they're not really Latino, let's say it as an example, not really Korean, or not really Arab. It's really hard, right? Language becomes a battleground of identity. So what do we do here then? Let's go to challenge number 3, lack of tailored curricula. Another pressing issue is that most language programs are designed either for complete beginners or for native speakers. There's rarely a middle ground, in fact. This is something that I actually discuss with my colleagues in school or anywhere where we are, just talk about this. But heritage speakers need something else entirely. A curriculum that recognizes their oral fluency, activities that build literacy without infantilizing them, grammar instruction that respects their existing patterns, cultural content that speaks to both their here and their there, right? You got me. Unfortunately, most classrooms aren't set up for this nuance. Heritage learners get lumped into the wrong class. That's how I feel. Or no class at all. And that's an opportunity missed. Now, let's flip the coin. Let's go with the opportunities now. We just talked about the challenges, right? You thought I wasn't going to let you know about the opportunities? Well, here we are. With every challenge, there is a door waiting to be opened, right? Heritage speakers offer immense opportunities for language programs, classrooms, and communities. Now, let's talk about 5 of them, all right? Let's start it with opportunity number 1, accelerated proficiency. Heritage speakers already have foundational knowledge. They understand the rhythm, intonation, and social context of the language. With target instruction, their fluency can blossom rapidly. They don't need to be taught from scratch. They need scaffolding. We know about that term, right? This means we can move faster, dive deeper, and empower them to engage with advanced literature, history, and linguistics in a shorter time span than with L2 learners. Opportunity number 2, cultural ambassadors. These learners live at the intersection of cultures. That makes them ideal facilitators in discussions about cross-cultural communication, what can it be, code-switching, and global perspective as well. Imagine a classroom where the heritage speakers are not just learners, but contributors, bringing real-life cultural knowledge into the room, enriching the learning of their peers. Their insight is gold. Let's stop treating them as deficient and start recognizing their unique multilingual value. Opportunity number 3, bridging generations. Many heritage speakers are the linguistic bridges between generations. interpreting for grandparents, maintaining family ties across continents as well. By supporting their heritage language development, we're not just educating an individual, we're empowering a family, preserving a culture, and transmitting legacy. This is pedagogy that heals. Opportunity number 4, bilingual careers. Proficiency in a heritage language, when fully developed, can open doors to careers in translation and interpretation, international relations, education, journalism, you name it, healthcare, social work, business, and diplomacy, because you got it, right? You got that ability there. So let's equip heritage speakers with the confidence and formal skills to turn their bilingualism into career capital. Opportunity number 5, revitalizing languages. In some cases, I think heritage speakers are the last line of defense against language loss. Think of endangered languages, regional dialects, or indigenous tongues, often carried forward not by academic study but by the quiet resilience of a family who still speak the language at home. If we nurture these speakers, we're not just teaching, we are participating in language revitalization. So, what should we do? What should educators do? Let's shift to practical strategies here. If you're an educator, curriculum designer, administrator, or simply someone who cares, here's how we can better support heritage speakers. First, assess differently. Use diagnostic tools that measure oral literacy, and grammatical knowledge separately. All right? Don't assume fluency based on conversation alone. Second, create mixed level curricula. Design material that allow for oral fluency while building up writing and reading confidence. Scaffold without boring. Third, value identity. Let them share their stories. Build units around heritage, home, and culture. Include authors, poets, and musicians from their cultural backgrounds. Fourth, train teachers. Offer PD for educators, especially on teaching heritage speakers. It's not the same as teaching L2 learners. Fifth, avoid shame. Celebrate voice. This is something I always tell you. Be careful about how corrections are framed. Avoid mocking dialects or non-standard expression, right? Remember, that's someone's family, someone's home. Sixth, encourage literacy at home. Help families integrate reading and writing activities into home life, like comics, just that, or books, letters to grandparents, WhatsApp messages in the heritage language. Seventh, make space for community projects. Invite students to document their family's migration story, record oral histories, or write bilingual children's book for younger siblings. Heritage speakers are not broken native speakers. They're whole humans with complex, rich, emotionally layered relationships to their languages. They carry stories, rhythm, laughter, pain, and pride in every word they speak. Our job is not to fix them. It's to honor, nurture, and amplify the language they already carry inside, and equip them with the tools to thrive in both their linguistic worlds. Because when we support heritage speakers, we're not just teaching language. We're teaching belonging, teaching pride, teaching healing. We're teaching the beauty of multiplicity. And in this world, increasingly global, increasingly hybrid, that is the future. So, to every heritage speaker listening, your language matters. Your story matters. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be proud. And to every educator, let's be the bridge. Let's be the support. Let's be the voice that says, yes, you belong here. And until next time, keep honoring your roots, keep lifting your voice, and as always, keep teaching, keep learning, and keep breaking barriers.